Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi there. Good morning. It is Monday, May 8th.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good weekend. And I hope you got some rain. Oh, maybe in a good way. Maybe it cooled you off for a second on Sunday.
If you didn't get some rain over the weekend, this is your week. There's a really good chance as we bring in Justin Horn.
We are moving into a very active pattern, so there is a good chance that we're going to see rain somewhere along the way. It's still a question of exactly where and when, but we're getting a little, honing in a little bit better on where we think that might happen. Let me show you some of the weather headlines here. We're dealing with mostly cloudy skies this morning, and it's humid, of course. It's going to be warm. I mentioned that active pattern, so rain chances every day. The question is, when will we see some heavy rain? And that's possible tonight, and I think, again, Friday and Saturday. So those are two time frames we'll be watching very closely. In the meantime, it's still going to be hot today. This will probably be our hottest day in the 7-day forecast, where heat index values jump up to near 100. Right now, 74 and cloudy. Dew point is at 71. East-southeasterly winds at about 6 miles per hour. And here's a look at some of those rain chances this week. Again, we're kind of looking at Tuesday tonight into tomorrow, and then again Friday into Saturday. Those are two time frames where our rain chances and our odds of seeing rain go up. You can see some of the morning clouds out there. We've got mostly cloudy skies here over San Antonio, clear skies out to the west. 74 currently, with mid-70s here around Bexar County on our forecast today. Calls for 86 by noontime, and then we'll be up around 91 this afternoon with just an isolated storm during the afternoon hours. But by this evening, we bring the rain chances up, and we'll watch what happens out west as some of those storms can make their way towards San Antonio tonight. Much more on this forecast in just a bit, but we got to get over to Stephen now. Looks like we have an issue underway.
You know, things had started off pretty quiet, Justin, but unfortunately, it looks like as we are getting the morning commute wrapped up, we do have some problems here at 35 at Cesar Chavez. Right behind me, you can see things are pretty much back to back out there. Folks right now are exiting El Paso. You can see that exit at I-10, but right now having some trouble because flashing lights out there, never a good sign, especially at this hour. Unfortunately, we are looking at a crash that's reported in the northbound lanes, not too far from I-10. Let's take you to the map, and thankfully there's little to no issues out there in terms of what we're seeing. But the big problem, at least for right now here in town, is going to be there 35 northbound as you approach I-10. I'm seeing more of that build up there as folks are approaching the westbound lanes of I-10, as you just saw on that TransGuide camera. So this is going to cause some delays for those that are trying to make their way in from, let's say, Lytle. But also, the problem's not just out here in town. It's actually also outside Loop 1604. This is out towards Seguin. If you're traveling in from Seguin, this is going to be a problem as well. We have an incident that was reported, but right now, no word yet on exactly what it is. We know there's a lot of construction that takes place out there, but also there are no TransGuide cameras in this particular area, so we're not actually able to label what this is. But you see traffic's moving at just 6 miles per hour. So very slow for folks out there this morning, but I do want to get back here to this shot at TransGuide. Looks like it's going to be a little while for folks to get through this. So my advice to you, scan this QR code. It gets you up to date on all the traffic incidents that are happening right now in and around the Alamo City, and of course all those construction spots that could cause some delays for your commute. So always good to know before you go. Mark.
Thank you. In just about an hour, Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez will be holding a press conference calling for gun legislation changes in the light of the Allen Outlet Mall shooting.
This comes at the same time as the deadline for Texas House committees to turn in their bills to be placed on the House's calendar for discussion. In February, the House Speaker created the Select Committee on Community Safety to handle bills related to firearm possession, sale, use, and transfer. Since the start of the regular session, that committee has had 139 bills submitted. Only 29 have made it out of committee.
Now the other 110 are in jeopardy of missing the deadline to progress, something the nonprofit organization's Lives Robbed says is unacceptable.
I just don't understand what it would take for everyone to understand how real this is, how traumatic this is, how it's not going to stop. You know, if we don't make a change, it's just common sense gun laws.
There has been no explanation from the committee chair as to why the other 110 bills have not progressed or been called for a vote. Ahead of Gutierrez's press conference, there is a rally planned by Texas Gun Sense, a coalition of gun violence prevention groups, to push the committee to take action.
San Antonio voters reelected Mayor Ron Nirenberg and seven city council members on Saturday, but 2 council seats are heading to a runoff.
District 1 incumbent Mario Bravo ended the night with 26% of the vote, while his opponent, Suk Kaur, led with 34%. In all, 8 candidates were vying for the District 1 seat, and voters in District 7 will also be heading back to the polls. Newcomers Marina Alderete Gavito and Dan Rossiter will face off against each other. Alderete Gavito received 43% of the votes to Rossiter's 21%. That runoff election is set for June 10th.
Biggest ballot item, Proposition 8, was heavily defeated. You can find a recap of the city's general election on our website at KSAT.com. There are a lot of concerns around the southern border of the U.S. as Title 42 expires later this week. A couple hours ago, Governor Greg Abbott spoke about the issue at Austin Bergstrom International Airport.
Abbott said President Biden's open border policy is going to cause a catastrophic disaster in the U.S., and he mentioned a new National Guard unit he is deploying.
According to the Biden administration itself, they anticipate about 13,000 people coming across the border illegally every single day. If you extend that out over the course of a year, it means there will be about 4,700,000 people coming across the border a year. That will mean that there will be more people coming across the border illegally than there are residents of the massive city of Chicago. Texas is doing more than any state in the history of the United States of America to defend our border.
Now, the new unit mentioned will be called the Texas Tactical Border Force. The governor said right now the Texas National Guard is loading Black Hawk helicopters and C-130 cargo planes to deploy specially trained National Guard members to hotspots along the border to stop migrants from entering the U.S. illegally.
Meanwhile, lawmakers from both parties are also worried that the country isn't ready to handle the situation at the border. As the clock ticks, CNN's John Lawrence explains what lawmakers are trying to do about it.
As migrants are gathering at the U.S.-Mexican border, lawmakers from both parties are sounding the alarm.
First of all, are we ready? The answer is no.
President Biden is sending 1,500, quote, soldiers to do paperwork, and that's not going to secure the border.
The rise in people seeking to get into the U.S. comes in anticipation of Thursday's expiration of Title 42, the U.S. government rule that enabled border officers to expeditiously expel migrants during the COVID pandemic.
The Biden administration had 2 years to prepare for this and did not do so.
The Department of Homeland Security has repeatedly stressed the southern border is sealed and is giving fair warning to those trying to come across.
The smugglers who exploit vulnerable migrants are spreading misinformation. They are spreading false information, lies, in a way to lure vulnerable people to the southern border, and those individuals will only be returned.
House Republicans are set to vote Thursday on a border security package to succeed Title 42. It's called H.R. 2, and it codifies some of the programs from the Trump administration, including the Remain in Mexico policy, which says migrants have to stay in Mexico as they go through the asylum process. If it passes, it's not expected to get through the Democratic-led Senate. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
In your morning headlines, we are seeing a spike in artificial intelligence being used all across our everyday lives, and now you might see it and experience it on your next trip to the drive-thru.
Plus, 2 devastating tragedies over the weekend here in Texas. We're going to have the latest from investigators, and Max Massey joins us live in the studio with the morning headlines. Max, where are we starting?
Good morning, guys. Not great news to talk about here in Texas, but that is where we are starting. We're talking about the latest on that mall shooting in Allen. Now, obviously, covering this extensively since it happened. This morning, investigators still searching for a motive. Now, federal investigators, officials, they're looking into whether the gunman who shot and killed 8 people at this Texas mall this weekend, whether he expressed an interest in white supremacist ideology. Now, law enforcement tell ABC News that the gunman was wearing a patch associated with white supremacy. They say the FBI is looking at the gunman's writings and the clothing for any link to extremist ideology. Now, authorities also say back in 2008, the suspect was discharged for the Army for mental health concerns. Witnesses to the shooting, obviously terrified in the aftermath, they reported seeing children among those victims, a scene so horrific that even first responders were sickened.
To see these first responders act, visibly shaken and crying and sick and trying to catch their breath and trying to understand what was going on, that will always be in my mind.
We believe at this point that the shooter acted alone.
A vigil held yesterday for the victims who lost their lives, including a 5-year-old boy. And the vigil also there for those who are still fighting to overcome their injuries. As we said, on top of the 8 people who were shot and killed, we also know more are hospitalized. 7 currently in the hospital, and of those 7, 3 are in critical condition. Now to a different tragedy, this one in Brownsville. New information overnight about that deadly crash near the U.S.-Mexico border. A vehicle plowing into people, a crowd of people at a bus stop near a shelter for migrants. We now know an 8th victim has died. This morning, we see candles and flowers marking the spot where an SUV hit and killed 8 people at that bus stop in Brownsville. Authorities investigating whether the crash was an accident or intentional. Some of the victims were migrants. They had just left the shelter specifically helping the homeless and people who just crossed the border. Now, the driver was taken to the hospital. He's still alive, taken to the hospital for treatment. Authorities looking into whether alcohol played a factor, describing the man as very uncooperative. Right now, only charging him with reckless driving.
This SUV just comes through, hits part of the curve and runs over everyone. A lot of our other guests that we have here at the shelter got to witness this traumatic incident. They were going to the bus station, local bus station, so they can take the bus that was going to take them to their destination.
And Mark, Steph, as you guys talked about, this horrible incident coming as Title 42 is set to expire on Thursday. All right, now to the latest in artificial intelligence. We've been hearing a lot lately about AI. It's being used to write music, help with marketing, but now we're seeing it enter the restaurant space. A fast food chain in Arizona says AI is actually helping fill the gap since they're having a hard time hiring staff. So in partnership with Presto Automation, Carl's Jr. bringing out artificial intelligence, and it is taking orders at the drive-thru with one of the first locations in the country in Buckeye, Arizona. It can adapt to whatever you're saying and even offer other items on the menu. So now I know everyone is saying AI is taking jobs, and in the tech industry, we've actually seen CEOs state that they're cutting jobs to save money and use AI. But the store manager here at this Carl's Jr., they say that the AI isn't taking away jobs. Instead, it lets the current staff focus on other tasks like preparing food.
We're not cutting hours or cutting another person from the schedule. It's just someone else to help there.
We wanted to put this AI to the test, so we hit up the drive-thru.
Hi, what can I make fresh for you today?
Now, after you see this example, we will admit the process a little slower than talking to a real person. Also not perfect. The store manager went on to say they're always wearing a headset. They're ready to jump in to intervene. The makers of the AI software say they don't yet have a name for the AI voice, but they are taking recommendations. Right now, guys, put it in context, it's Carl's Jr., so they're thinking of Carla. Now, big question for you guys.
Yes.
If an AI were to offer you recommendations at, say, Whataburger,
okay,
would you take the recommendations?
I mean, why not?
It depends what that recommendation is.
Yeah.
Case by case basis.
Case by case. Yeah, the weird thing will be is if you're at Chick-fil-A and it says, how would you like your burger? So we'll see. I'm sure they'll work the kinks out, right?
Well done.
Max, thank you very much. Right now, 9/11, 74 degrees, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
The month of May celebrates the crowning of Mary and goes back over 1,000 years. Still ahead, our Sarah Costa tells us about the Catholic tradition and shows us some murals around the city depicting Mary.
Plus, big trouble in Hollywood. A number of TV shows and movies could continue to be affected by the writers' strike. We'll hear from one of the writers who grew up here in San Antonio. He explains the situation and its impacts.
Let's look out there with live cam this morning. It's 74 degrees now. Not too bad, not yet. We're going to check in with Justin, though, to see what we can expect for the rest of the day and the rest of your week.
9:15 all morning long. We've been talking about that at some point this week, it's going to get pretty damp around here.
It is weird. It's almost like clockwork. Every year when we get into late May, it's like we know there's going to be some sort of flooding. We'll get some heavy rain. It's just a matter of when and where.
Feels earlier, though, this year.
Yeah, well, maybe a little bit. You know, Memorial Day is kind of always our day where we have to really watch for some pretty wild weather. But we do have some chances this week. And I want to show you the observed rainfall since Thursday morning across the state of Texas. So what you'll notice here is we've got some good rain basically across North Texas, and we've had some patches here, not necessarily around San Antonio, But we will, again, have some more opportunities going forward. There was some really good rain over the weekend as you got south and east of town. So places like Karnes City over to Cuero, that's where we got some good numbers. And that, by the way, will be an area that we'll be watching very closely tomorrow for the threat of some more heavy rain. Let's go outside for you right now. 74 and cloudy, dew point is at 71, so it's still extremely humid. That doesn't really change at all. And we've got an east-southeasterly wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We do have some morning clouds that have kind of expanded right over Bexar County, and they've moved up towards Kerrville and Hondo. So this area cloudy right now. If you're west of that, it is sunny. And we've got some high clouds down to the south. So it'll be off and on cloudiness today, but I think the sun definitely comes out here in San Antonio, and that pushes temperatures up close to 90 this afternoon. It's going to be toasty and humid. 72 Carrizo Springs, 78 Cotulla, 78 in Kennedy. We're in the mid-70s here around San Antonio right now. Air temperature this afternoon 91, but that translates to a heat index of 98. The feels like numbers will be pretty rough today with all that humidity in place. Most everyone will have a heat index in the 90s, so just a heads up there. The water vapor imagery shows us we're still in that pattern where we've got things coming out of the little disturbances coming out of the south and west. And in this kind of pattern, it's hard to tell exactly when and where we're going to get some pop-up storms or clusters of storms. But there's disturbances that'll be rolling through. And in fact, by the time we get into tonight, there will be an area of low pressure that develops almost over San Antonio. So that means that there is a decent shot, I think, at some showers and storms. So let me walk you through one of our computer models. And look, these haven't been terribly reliable, but they give us a general idea. 4 o'clock today, just a 20% chance of a couple storms. But as we get later into the day, 6 o'clock, maybe 7 to 8 o'clock, we'll watch for storms developing out west. And these storms are going to try to make a run at San Antonio by tonight. And this is an area where we could see some heavy rain. So we've upped rain chances overnight to 50%. And anywhere you see some of these red colors, that's where there could be pockets of flooding rainfall. Not only that, we've got to watch for the risk for severe weather. It's low wind, but it is there. Hail, gusty winds. Again, the kind of the main concerns here, as they have been for the last really 4 or 5 days. So that's kind of what we're looking at as far as tonight goes. We up those rain chances, and that's probably through much of the day tomorrow too. Wednesday and Thursday it'll be more of the isolated afternoon stuff. And by the time we get into Friday and Saturday, another good piece of energy starts to move through. And that means we could see another round of heavy rain. And that could lead to some flooding in spots. Again, hard to say where, but that's another time frame we're going to have to watch. And I know Mother's Day is Sunday, still a decent chance of rain there. So we've got rain chances all the way through the 7-day forecast. Hopefully, we don't see a ton of flooding. We don't see a ton of severe weather, and everyone gets some rain, but it doesn't always work out like that. So that's kind of the thinking right now. Of course, we'll update you as those storms develop tonight and let you know where they're headed.
Please do.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
919, 75 degrees.
Coming up next, a writer from San Antonio tells us about the writer's strike going on in Hollywood and the struggles others like him are facing, plus what this could mean for your favorite TV shows or movies.
It's starting to feel like a gig-to-gig career path in a way that in the past really hasn't been the case. You get hired on a show and you are able to be creative and be compensated for your creativity. And now it really is a struggle.
Thousands of film and television writers put down their pens and laptops and grabbed picket signs demanding better pay and residuals from streaming media and more.
Our Tiffany Huerta spoke to a Hollywood writer who grew up in San Antonio and joined the strike. She joins us now in the studio with more. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, there could be major consequences because of this. And we first met Raymond Arturo Perez in March. He was here in San Antonio teaching at UTSA students about screenwriting. Now he joins thousands of Hollywood writers demanding change and says they want to be properly compensated for their work. Arturo Perez is an LA-based film and television writer. He worked on several projects and was a writer for season 2 of Selena, the series on Netflix. Arturo Perez is one of thousands of Writers Guild of America members who have been picketing outside Hollywood studios. The Writers Guild of America called for its members to stop working until the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers come to an agreement on different issues, from salary increases to residuals from streaming media.
We get residuals from network shows and from cable shows. So we're asking that we get residuals from streaming shows as well. We're just asking that our agreement with the studios adapt to the times so that we can have a livable wage as film and television writers.
The Associated Press reports that the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers said it presented an offer with generous increases in compensation for writers, as well as improvements in streaming residuals. Also, the trade association said it was prepared to improve its offer, but was unwilling to do so because of the magnitude of other proposals still on the table that the Guild continues to insist upon. Now, the union, representing over 11,000 writers of film, television, and other entertainment forms, were already seeing the effects of all of this because Netflix's Stranger Things that halted production on season 5 due to this strike, and I could imagine more will come.
Absolutely. Lots of shows and movies have come to a dead standstill. Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you. And during the month of May, many of the Catholic faithful celebrate the crowning of Mary through a tradition that's 1,000 years old. And even if you're not Catholic, you may have seen the murals or art depicting Mary around our city.
Sarah Costa takes us to some of these murals and explains the tradition of the May crowning.
The Blessed Virgin Mary, Our Lady of Guadalupe, Queen of Peace. These are all names by which Mary is known. And just driving around San Antonio, you'll find several murals or art depicting her. One of the most famous in our city is La Veladora of Our Lady of Guadalupe by the late Jesse Trevino.
The Archdiocese of San Antonio says over 800,000 residents identify as Catholic.
And during the month of May, Catholics celebrate the crowning of Mary, where a crown is placed on Mary's head with flowers.
In the Northern Hemisphere, May is known for spring flowers, which can symbolize rebirth.
Dating back to the Middle Ages, Christians began honoring Mary through various month-long celebrations during May. Dr. Robert Fastigi is the chair of dogmatic theology at Sacred Heart Major Seminary in Chicago. He explains in the Catholic Church the reality of Easter and its promise of new life is often symbolized by flowers, as spring itself represents the season of growth. He says since flowers represent new life and Catholics believe Mary plays a major role in Easter through her motherhood of Jesus Christ, she is honored with flowers.
So why flowers and a crown?
Fastigi explains how the tradition of the May crowning helps Catholics appreciate Mary as the Queen Mother, who they believe reigns in heaven with Jesus Christ their King. You may also see Mary statues with rosaries. Catholics use rosaries not to pray to Mary, but as a tool to ask Mary for her prayers because of the Catholic belief of her closeness with her son Jesus. For a list of murals honoring Mary around San Antonio, head to KSAT.com. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
926, 75 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
Including what you should know if you're planning on buying a new car, so you can plan ahead for any repairs.
Plus, what President Biden is proposing airlines to do to compensate customers for canceled or delayed flights that are within their control.
Let's look out there with live cam. We're now in the 70s. The clouds are still helping us out, and they helped us out a lot. Yesterday could have been a lot warmer.
You're absolutely right. They helped in a big way yesterday. It actually felt pretty nice most of the day on Sunday. I think today's going to be a little bit warmer because we are going to see some more sun, especially midday into the early afternoon before more storms gather and develop this evening. I want to show you a picture. This is pretty amazing. I never heard of this. It's a rare pink katydid, and I looked it up. Only about 1 in 500 katydids are pink. So it's rare.
That's cool.
But that's pretty cool to see that. So thank you so much for sharing that picture with us on our KSAT Connect. As we go outside for you once again, we've got mostly cloudy skies, 74. Report maybe of a little bit of drizzle there at the airport. Dew point is at 71. East-southeasterly winds at about 6 miles per hour. Here's our forecast today as you plan out your Monday. Noontime, partly cloudy, 86. By the afternoon, we'll call for a 20% chance of a stray storm. 91, heat index is going to be in the upper 90s. From there, though, rain chances go up. I think as we get into tonight, we'll have a much better opportunity to see some showers and storms. And there is a threat for some heavy rain, especially some localized flooding where we see some storms coming in from the west. So this is something we'll be watching very, very closely for you. And beyond that, we still have rain chances all week long and some better chances of rain by Friday and Saturday with the possibility of some more heavy rain. So a lot to look at in the 7-day forecast. We're going to take a closer inspection of that forecast for you coming up in just a couple minutes, guys.
New this morning, 3 teens are in police custody, and investigators are still searching for a fourth after an attempted car burglary on the north side ends in a shooting.
So this was the scene around 5 this morning on Fennell Drive, not far from Vance Jackson Road on Loop 410. Police say someone noticed the 4 teenagers trying to break into his truck and fired several gunshots in the air. The teenagers ran off but shot back. Luckily, no one was hit by that gunfire or was injured. We're still waiting to learn the suspects' names and learn the charges they will be facing.
We're learning new information about the man police say is responsible for gunning down shoppers over the weekend at an outdoor mall north of Dallas. More details about the victims are also emerging as the community tries to make sense of this tragedy. CNN's Chris Wynn has the latest developments from Allen.
This morning, the aftermath of yet another mass shooting in America weighs heavy on the hearts of many.
It was the most terrifying moment of my life.
Saturday afternoon, a gunman opened fire at an outdoor outlet mall in Allen, Texas, killing 8 people and wounding at least 7 others. A trail of carnage as shoppers desperately ran for cover.
I went to the third person who moaned. I knew he was alive. I felt for a pulse. There was no pulse, so I did the first chest compression. He spit up blood, and then his eyes went fixed and dilated, and I knew I'd lost him.
Police say the gunman, 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia, was killed by an Allen police officer who was at the mall on an unrelated call nearby when the shooting started. Investigators believe the shooter acted alone. Authorities have yet to identify a specific motive, but investigators have uncovered an extensive social media presence by the gunman, including a possible link to right-wing extremism, according to a senior law enforcement source familiar with the investigation.
We're going to need prayer. Jesus, take the wheel.
Meanwhile, the Allen community coming together Sunday night to honor the fallen victims, including Christian LaCour, whose sister told CNN Christian was a sweet, caring young man who is loved greatly by our family. In Allen, Texas, I'm Chris Wynn.
President Biden is expected to announce a new proposal that would require airlines to compensate customers for canceled or delayed flights. The proposal would establish what constitutes a controllable delay or cancellation, and passengers would be given money for meals, hotels, and rebooking in some instances. Right now, no airline currently provides cash compensation for preventable cancellations or delays. Only one airline guarantees frequent flyer miles, and 2 provide travel credits and vouchers. Mandates like this one already exist in Canada and the European Union.
It is a new era in the United Kingdom after the coronation of King Charles, and what a weekend in London it was.
ABC's James Longman is in London with a look at some of the highlights.
Spectacular light and drone show celebrating the natural world. Prince William honouring his father.
I want to say a few words about my father and why I believe this weekend is so important. But don't worry, unlike Lionel, I won't go on all night long. Pa, we are all so proud of you. I commit myself to serve you all. King, country, and Commonwealth. God save the King.
The nation coming together as Charles and Camilla were crowned King and Queen in Westminster Abbey, a tradition that dates back to 1066.
I, William, Prince of Wales, pledge my loyalty to you, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, as your liege man of life and limb. So help me God.
Heads of state and dignitaries from around the world there to pay their respects, including Dr. Jill Biden and her granddaughter. The King's family also by his side, Prince George, a page boy, helping carry his grandfather's robe, and Charlotte and Louis stealing the show. Prince Harry was also there, seated in the 3rd row. The ceremony full of pomp and pageantry, both traditional and modern. As Charles was invested as both head of state and head of the Church of England. While some protesters lined the streets, thousands of others out celebrating. But Prince Harry did leave quickly, racing to get back to California for his son Archie's 4th birthday.
And we got that famous balcony shot at the end of the day, the smaller, more streamlined future royal family. I think there was real excitement to see Kate and Will, people imagining what their reigns might look like. James Longman, ABC News in London.
Back here at home, today is the final workshop for homeowners interested in learning about property tax exemptions or how to submit an appeal to lower property taxes. It will be at the Sims Library on Judson Road near Nacogdoches from 4 to 6 p.m. This workshop will explain different exemptions available to homeowners and provide tips on how to prepare for an appeal with the Bexar County Appraisal District before that deadline next Monday.
It is no secret that the cost of buying a car goes way beyond what you pay for it initially. Expensive maintenance and repair costs can quickly tire out your bank account. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the 5 key things to know when buying a car these days.
When it comes to buying a car, it's easy to get drawn in by a deal, but there's more to car ownership than the price tag. Maintenance and repairs are often recurring expenses.
You start to look at the cost over time, you're like, oh, wow, after 5, 6, 7 years, if I kept the car that long, it could start to cost a lot of money because the repairs are going to be more expensive.
And the maintenance costs can vary depending on where the car was made.
Domestic cars tend to cost less to maintain and repair, but then maybe one of the Japanese brands might be more reliable, so you could end up spending less on repairs.
And the type of car matters too. When it comes to ongoing fuel and maintenance costs, electric vehicles typically will save you money.
There are simply fewer parts to take care of. There's not a gasoline motor with all these complex systems that have to be taken care of and parts wearing out.
Even though the sport and premium trims on your new car might be tempting, consider this.
The complexity means higher repair costs later, because when something breaks, there's going to be more to fix, and there are going to be more complicated things to fix.
And if you're buying a used car, maintenance and repair costs should definitely be top of mind.
Keep in mind that a lot of the big repairs are going to come in the 80,000 to 150,000 mile range. Things like alternators and shocks and those things that just wear out over time.
Bottom line, before you head to the dealership, experts say do your research. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Now, when it comes to repairs and maintenance, it's important to find a great repair shop. Experts say while you'll generally find good service at a dealership, an independent repair shop may be able to do the work at a much better price. So it's best to shop around.
A couple of KSAT community events to know about. Next week, you are invited to a health and wellness conference that's happening next Thursday and Friday. That is at the North Conference Center, and there'll be more than 15 workshops and resources related to mental health and wellness. The 2-day workshop is free and open to families and professionals. And you still have time to donate a shoebox of essentials for those in need. The United Way of San Antonio and Bexar County Shoebox Project hopes to collect 10,000 shoe boxes full of essentials. They will be donated to those who need it the most in San Antonio. That drive ends on the 26th, and we have all of that information about how you can help out on our website at ksat.com.
It will be a busy weekend here in San Antonio because the XFL championship game is being played here this coming weekend. The Arlington Renegades are taking on the DC Defenders. The game is set for 7 p.m. Saturday at the Alamo Dome. If you're interested in going, you can find ticket information on ksat.com. Tickets start as low as $25. Right now, 9:40, 75 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9 on a Monday.
We'll be right back with what a new report says is a new favorite dog breed in the U.S.
Move over, Labrador Retrievers. A recent rankings show the country's new favorite dog breed is the French Bulldog.
Aw, the Frenchie's rise has been stunning, going from the 83rd most popular breed to #1. Now, while the stumpy-snouted, pointy-eared, deep-chested, quizzical little bulldogs have never won the nation's preeminent dog show, a Frenchie named Winston is a strong contender at this week's Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show.
I remember Winston from last year, and he was awesome and truly adorable. Right now on KSAT.com, you can read more about the rise in the popularity of these pricey pooches and why some veterinarians are worried about these kinds of dogs.
Adorable, though.
I love that there's a million videos of Frenchies talking back and barking.
Yeah.
It is hilarious on so many levels.
Those Instagram videos where they have voices, they have voices to the dogs, those make me laugh every time.
Fun to watch.
Good stuff. Very cute dog. Next couple days, guys, we're going to be watching for the threat for some heavy rain, especially tonight into tomorrow. That's a time frame I kind of want to watch because we're going to have a little disturbance rolling through tonight. It's not a guarantee. In this kind of pattern, it's hard to kind of pinpoint where all the heavy rain will be, but it's possible. Let's go outside. We've got mostly cloudy skies, 74. Dew point is at 71. East-southeasterly winds at about 6. So very humid out there. You can almost see the humidity. Sun's starting to shine through, so we know it is going to be a warm day. 82 at 11 o'clock, 86 noontime. We'll call it partly cloudy. I think we had a stretch here where we get some pretty good sun, which will boost those temperatures up to 91. But by the afternoon, we start to put in some rain chances. 20% 4 or 5 o'clock. Then as we get into tonight, we bring the rain chances up. So this evening, 86, 40% chance of rain, 40% chance at 9 o'clock. And I think we may even go higher than that with rain chances, say around midnight or so. First, though, the heat index. Where are we? By 5 o'clock, close to 98. Okay, so this is one of those days where you got to be careful, just because really the humidity is just really high, and heat indices will be in the upper 90s in most spots today, with air temperatures somewhere in the low 90s. We've got some morning clouds that have taken shape too, so a lot of cloud cover from San Antonio to Hondo, Bandera, over to New Braunfels and San Marcos. Some low clouds there, and then we've got some high clouds over top of that. So mostly cloudy to start, but again, I think partly cloudy skies take over later today. And as we look across Texas, not a lot going on, but it's been an active pattern, not just for us, but for a large portion of Texas. Houston got a ton of rain yesterday, and we'll see more of that, more of these little disturbances rolling through. So let's look at our forecast here. This is 4 o'clock, does show a couple of isolated storms trying to pop up, 20% chance, as we said. And then by 6, 7 o'clock, still show some quiet conditions, but we're going to be watching what's going on in Mexico. Storms gather there and then start to work east. 8 o'clock, heavier storms perhaps just to the west of San Antonio. 10 p.m., slowly making their way towards San Antonio. We'll have a little area of low pressure that develops over top of us. We'll see what effect that has, but I think somewhere tonight, and especially into tomorrow morning, there's going to be a risk for some heavy rain. There could also be a threat for some stronger storms. It's low end, but hail, some gusty winds possible with some of these stronger cells that develop. And we mentioned the heavy rain. This is from the Weather Prediction Center, but this is where they have the flash flooding risk at its highest, and that is east of San Antonio, and that's going into tomorrow. So places like Gonzales, Nixon, Cuero, areas that got some heavy rain over the weekend, well, they could get some more heavy rain tomorrow depending on how this low evolves and where it sets up. So we got to start thinking about things like the low water crossings, the creeks and the streams, depending on where these heavier areas of storms set up. So 83 tomorrow, 50% chance of rain. I'm going to say here in San Antonio, it's mainly going to be early. Then we see rain chances drop off a little bit Wednesday and Thursday before they pick back up Friday into Saturday. I think we get another disturbance in here that will bring some more pockets of heavy rain. And then Mother's Day right now, 40% chance of rain, high of 80. But this entire 7-day forecast is chock full of rain chances, which is great. We just don't want any flash flooding or anything like that.
No, we don't. Something to watch out for.
Yes.
Thank you, Justin.
Latest warning from the Treasury Secretary to Congress about the debt ceiling is that there are no good options if lawmakers fail to raise it in time. That's what Janet Yellen told ABC News, with the U.S. risking a default on its debt as soon as June 1st.
Unemployment across America is down to a 54-year low. The Labor Department says the economy added 253,000 jobs in April. The same report, though, also revised down the number of jobs added in February and March.
The stage may be set for lower electricity rates across the country, the part of the country this summer. After natural gas prices dropped over the winter, conventional wisdom holds that gas companies would slow production. But the Wall Street Journal now says most kept drilling, keeping up supplies, and that should help on the market.
Time now is 9:48 and 76 degrees for now.
King Charles and Queen Camilla made a royal appearance on American Idol last night. When we come back, who was able to set up the royal surprise?
Plus, a look at the top 5 films in theaters right now.
I miss you so much. There's an aching inside of me.
The romantic drama Love Again opened weekly in 5th place, earning $2.4 million. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret moved down to 4th place on ticket sales of $3.4 million. Evil Dead Rise fell to 3rd, scaring up $5.7 million.
Watch and learn.
After 4 weekends on top, the Super Mario Bros. Movie settled for 2nd, grossing $18.6 million for a domestic total of $518 million.
I'm gonna tell you something.
I'm Star-Lord.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 easily topped the chart in its debut weekend. The latest Marvel Cinematic Universe adventure opened with $114 million. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Lionel Richie and Katy Perry appeared from across the pond during American Idol last night, and they had, well, shall we say, some surprise guests.
Yes, big surprise. ABC's George Pinocchio shares the evening's most unexpected moment.
I just wanted to check how long you'll be using this room for?
King Charles and Queen Camilla made a royal appearance on American Idol Sunday night. Turns out Lionel Richie was behind it all.
He made it happen, and it was all kind of a surprise for me today. I've been on the show for 20 years, and never have I had a day as wacky as today.
This was the most globally bizarre thing that I've ever seen, and the fact that Lionel and Katy were borrowing some room in Windsor Castle until the wee hours of the morning, good for them.
With the regular judges busy at the coronation, Ed Sheeran and Alanis Morissette stepped in as guest judges. Alanis was also the evening's mentor. The top 8 sang her songs their way.
It's kind of a mind-boggling experience for me, to be honest.
When the voting was over, American Idol had its top 5. Zachariah Smith.
I'm still standing. It's a great day.
Megan Danielle.
It's a lot of hard work, but I just love the fact that I'm learning so much each week.
Iam Tongi.
I was just really excited.
Wayani.
We're electric. We're laughing a lot.
And Colin Stow.
I love watching all my friends succeed, and it just really means the world to me.
That meant we had to say goodbye to Haven Madison. Oliver Steele. And Warren P.
When I see the top 5, it looks really perfect to me. It really does.
For the singers going home, this is just the beginning for what's next.
I'm ready to start playing some more shows, keep writing music, looking to maybe get some stuff released here soon, and y'all see me around.
I've got more music to share with people. I've got friends back home that are waiting on me to work with them and that I miss dearly, so I'm just excited to keep moving forward.
I've got a studio in my home, so I'm going to release a lot of music. I'm going to be all over the social media. I'm looking at tours. I want to take on the world.
Next week, the top 5 take on Disney Night. At the end of next Sunday's show, the top 5 become the final 3. In Hollywood, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
In just a few minutes, Texas State Senator Roland Gutierrez will be holding a press conference calling for gun legislation changes in light of the Uvalde school shooting and more recently the Allen Outlet Mall shooting.
Now, this comes at the same time as the deadline for Texas House committees to turn in their bills to be placed on the House's calendar for discussion. We will be live streaming the press conference on KSAT.com, and we're going to have the very latest on the news at noon.
And the sun is starting to pop out. We'll see a warm day. Temperatures up around 90 this afternoon, but heat indices will be higher than that. We're going to watch for the threat for some heavy rain tonight. Some storms will try to move in, and those may linger into tomorrow. We'll see a couple of days with lower rain chances, and it picks back up again Friday into Saturday. We're in a very active pattern here, so be prepared for some times of heavy rain.
I was thinking about having some new furniture delivered Friday.
Ooh.
Think I'm going to wait now.
Yeah,
You
next
may
week.
want to check on that one, yeah.
Thanks for the hint. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys have a great day.